Pocket food update. Are you sentimental? And yes, Taylor Swift. All this and more on today's Brilliant Observations. Do, 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 do. Hi everybody. Hi Amy. How are you? Get the formalities out of the way.
Good morrow, Melissa.
I heard on Mouse and Weens, Joe always says, I'm the mom one over here. And I'm like, okay, I'm Melissa, the crackhead in Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. I'm Amy, the unprepared with a quippy bio introduction in North Carolina.
Yeah, that's it. I just call myself a crackhead. So
Yes,
I'm prepared.
I don't think you're that.
That was clear. That we were unprepared.
Got it. How are
All right,
you,
Amy.
Melissa? How are you?
I am well. I am well. I really am this time. I'm not well like I usually am. I can't complain. I mean, of course I could complain, but what is the fucking point of complaining? Why bother? Nobody cares.
Surely there's some help in it. I mean, surely it's a thing we all like to do. There's got to be some benefit.
I was cold when I sat down. And started talking to you. I got warm. I don't know what's going on with me.
I make people hot. That's why.
You do. You do. I discovered the other day while riding, I only sweat from my head. Have we talked about this
Sounds like
before?
a fish. Yeah. I don't know that that's something you should say to people.
So I walked upstairs and Stuart's like, there's sweat like all over your shirt. I'm like, I know because I wiped it from my face and my head. It's
You're like Bjorn Borg. He's got to have that little terry cloth bungee cord around his forehead.
I'm considering that magical terry cloth thing.
Do you not get the funky juju in your lower creases? It's only the upstairs?
I mean, what if I told you it dripped from my upper creases to my lower creases?
Then that's not the same. Mine originate.
I don't know.
Mine originate in every area. I'm a spontaneous sweater. When it's time to sweat,
everywhere.
There's no hierarchy of needs. Out it comes.
I mean, maybe it's not just my head because I watch these girls and boys on the Peloton thing, the screen, and they're glistening from everywhere. Mm-hmm. And I'm dry as fuck from like the shoulders down.
I was thinking something was getting ready to happen. And then what happened? Then you're dry as fuck? Turn it.
No.
Yeah,
they're all glistening. And I'm like, why don't I sweat like that? Of course, you know, your pants are a little wet. But whatever. I'm just saying the 90% is just head sweat. And I don't understand why. But one time they said, if you're not sweating, and I'm like, yeah, I lean in, yeah, like you're not hydrated enough.
You're doing it wrong. Yeah,
you're not. You need to hydrate more. So I said, oh, I thought you were going to tell me I was a more evolved human.
If you're not sweating, maybe you're not exerting yourself enough. Like maybe there's that part.
But then the head starts sweating and it runs into the eyes, and you're like, fuck.
Oh, that lava sweat, as soon as it touches the outside sweat, when it gets in your eyeballs, I don't know how it can be so toxic.
Why isn't it the same temperature as your internals?
Why is it like acid? I don't even understand. When stuff I've had to pull over the car under duress, thinking with eyes closed, like I'm just stopping wherever I am. I can't see, and then I sit there and weep for like 2 minutes. It's really, it happens to me a lot.
I know why with you. I know your problem. You know what your problem is?
Indeed, I don't. That's why I'm here. Wait,
Back in the day, you used to sweat alcohol because you used to drink so much, and that's what oozed into your eye.
Thank you. Nowadays, that wouldn't. Thank you for that.
Nowadays, that wouldn't be an issue.
Okay, I don't know if I subscribe to your theory, but I'm gonna buy it and love it. I want to talk to you a little bit more about sweat before we get on to things that are on the board, especially because I think it's super smart to start the podcast this way with something
talking about being gross,
something disgusting, and I'm going to take it to the next level down.
Do it. I love it.
Well, I have identified, perhaps you've heard from podcasts of yore. Thanks for hanging in there, longtime listeners. It's a throwback. I use Lume deodorant, which is the one that you see. It's spelled Lume, so it is pronounced Lume because I hear him say it. Look, I feel like an idiot saying it that way. I'd rather call it Lume. But anyway, their whole thing is that it's a scientific approach to your stank. So when you put it on, it smells like sewage going on. And this is their marketing. They say, you'll have a brief whiff of science and then a full day of refreshment.
That's genius. A whiff of science.
A brief
That's
whiff
genius.
of science. And I was like, this is creepy. This is gross. We had to get it because there were 3 boys. They generate a lot of funk in all of their areas. And this is like pits, tits, crack, ass. You're supposed to rub this shit everywhere. Taint, wherever you got the Joe, stick it, right? So we get it by the case. It comes in every month. I started using this stupid shit. I hated it because I ran out of something else. I didn't want to. Here's what happens. Once you go into the Lume sphere, your body has a chemical reaction. And now, because it's a 72-hour deodorant, you put it on and it keeps you stank-free for 72 hours. But then after that time, your body is like, we beat this vaccination. Come on, guys. And it comes at you with a sewage stank that you didn't think existed. So it is a self-fulfilling prophecy that you have to...
So you're addicted to it now?
I stink so bad. Because here's 2 things that happen. You put it on and it works so well, you don't stink and you don't think about putting on deodorant. So maybe it does get to the next day, right? So now you're going on 24, 48 hours where you haven't put any deodorant on. So you start to smell and you think, oh, well, I forgot to put it on. The smell, when this shit wears off, it is like a chemical, it is like... what should I say? It's like a rash. It's like an infection. It smells like your body is doing something wrong. It doesn't smell like normal sweat. It smells like 14 soccer players were stuck in a bus in Texas at 3:00 in the afternoon for a week. And then they want to come at you. And it is the stinkiest, weirdest, grossest. And then you're thinking, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And then you put that weird shit back on and it's like, okay, I'll do it next time. And now I'm stuck in the fucking loop prophecy.
It's kind of like my son and his chapstick. He cannot.
Yes.
He cannot ease off of the chapstick.
Chapstick gives you chappy lips and Lume makes your pity stink.
Yeah, that's crazy. And fucking genius that you create a product that makes you desperately need this product.
Oh, they've got my husband buying the laundry wash because now you stink so bad in the microfiber, whatever the clothing is, the dry fit clothing, the super high performance athletic clothes that fit tight.
Wicking.
And they retain the stank in ways that don't ever come out in the wash. So Lume has a product where you rub it on that. I mean, I'm not fucking selling the shit. I don't know why I'm talking about it like it's a damn sponsor.
You are and you aren't.
Well,
all
anyway.
at the same time.
Yeah. So
this really works, but then you can't do anything else ever for the rest of your life.
Send me some free cases, and I like the Jasmine Rose. Also Orange Crush. They have a coconut one. It's fucking weird. I'm over to you. I'm trying to say, I just went through this whole thing this morning because I changed my shirt to come in here because I like you. And I thought,
thanks.
Fuck, what's that? Oh, God, it's my armpits. And so I had to put more Lume on from earlier in the day. Stank. Super stank.
Super stank.
It's a
I think
super
that's
stank.
a band.
She's a super stank. Super stank. She's super
Uber
stinky.
stank.
Ow.
Ow is right. I don't know in which order to go because my whole life has been taken over by Taylor Swift, yet we have a Ravioli Pierogi throwdown going on. And
both of these things are true, and I'm going to start with a new controversy, and we're going to return to the Ravioli Throwdown because it's fucking on like Donkey Kong. So stay around. So I need to hear about Taylor Swift because I encountered Ms. Swift on the Saturday Night Live program.
Yeah.
And methinks we're about to have a Ravioli Throwdown part 2. So feel free to load me up. Nice face. Feel free to load me up with all the reasons why you think this woman is doing the right thing because I'd love to maybe hear that point of view.
You want to fight?
I think I'm judging. I'm judging from the board and from your attitude that a fight is in the works because here's all I'll say to you. Yeah. I don't know if you saw Saturday Night Live.
I did.
Okay, the bitch was unlistenable. Go.
I don't even have words for you.
I don't know what it was so bad. I even thought, how many people did she bring in this audience to cheer for her? Because there is no, like, how did this, that was like Lana Del Rey beat Taylor Swift on her performance last night that I saw late because I didn't see it on Saturday.
I have to tell you.
Please tell me. What am I missing?
So I So I have a child who's crazy about her. She's great. She's the best. She's the 18th coming because there have been so many second comings that I guess we're on number 18 or 19.
Look at me. See what you did.
So
Swifties. Yeah.
I am immediately against her in general because
good.
No, don't good me because I can't stand like the waves of, oh, your heart was broken. All you do is write songs to talk about ex-boyfriends. And then I took a deep dive. First of all, she writes these songs and she is wildly.
I could tell. Yeah.
Oh, no. With lyrics like, you call me up again just to break me like a promise.
Yeah,
So
I heard
casually cruel in the name of being honest. You had me at hello. I can't believe I'm going to say this. Do not tell my daughter. I have mad respect for her.
Okay.
I started saying my heart was broken at 16, 17, whatever it was. And I thought I would never recover. And I wrote stupid poems about it. And I absorbed songs about heartbreak like they were written for me.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely felt that. But to turn 30 or age 10, 11 years from that and still hold this grudge, grow the fuck up was my first thought.
Yep.
But then I realized, I mean, first of all, poor Jake Gyllenhaal and poor, sit back. There's a Kennedy boy, Harry Styles, Joe Jonas, Taylor Lautner, John Mayer. All of these men right now are shitting their pants for what she can turn around. Her lyrics, her music, I got to give it to her. I'm sorry.
What was the line about the patriarchy keychain? Are you kidding me with the lyrics? It was unlistenable because her performance was really not the level I've come to expect from her. Either that or the song was written in such a way that there's no way she can sing it that flatters her voice. She was flat the majority of the time, hitting wrong notes, trying too hard. It was unlistenable. And so then
I thought she was great.
Then I just closed my eyes and thought, well, just maybe listen to the lyrics or something. And I thought, is this some 11-year-old that wrote this? I'm telling you, I've heard a sum total of 1 hour-long song that she played on Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
It was horribly bad in its performance, in its execution. There was not anything.
Did you watch the video? Like, were you in the relationship? I thought I'm a fan and I don't like her, so it hurts me to say.
Here's the thing. I can get down on the relationship sauerkraut songwriting bandwagon all day long. I'm here for you, Adele. I'm here for you. What's her name? Olivia Rodrigo.
Lizzo. I love Olivia Rodrigo.
Those are actually some really interesting.
Alanis Morissette, right? Would she go down on you in a theater?
That was
bitch,
a shitty
I
lyric.
did.
But it's I mean, it's like, yeah, some of her lyrics are equally painful, but I'm there for the ride, right? Not painful. They're just pedantic and ho-hum and not that great, but the whole vibe. So I'm here for Taylor Swift in a lot of ways. This whole song felt to me, truthfully, like she's had a writing team all this time and they left her and I'm going to do it myself. And I failed. Like that's how it sounded and felt, the delivery and the lyric. Now, I don't know anything about her relationships. I don't know anything about her at all. I sat there in the audience listening to this thing going, why am I listening to this thing? And why are people cheering for it? So I will give it another shot because the girl can sing. The girl can write. That song, You're a Bully and Fuck You, when the rapper, whoever it was, called her out and she wrote, I'm at the Grammys and fuck off, right?
You talking about Kanye?
Mean. I think she wrote Mean before Kanye. But anyway, or who knows when she wrote. That's a fucking great song. Absolutely pitch perfect.
So your issue is with her specific performance on Saturday Night Live.
That's my first foray into what am I listening to and why is it so long and how are these lyrics so, middle schooly bad? Like I would keep trying to find some reason to it's like, what the fuck? What is happening here? So, and there was no way to be invested. It was meandering all over the place in terms of the melody it felt overly, needlessly complicated because it doesn't flatter her voice. I could see if you're doing these vocal gymnastics because it's showcasing something like Aretha. My God, who could ever pull this off? I love it. Oh, I'm in it. I'm with you, Adele. I know why you're singing these weird keys because, only you can pull it off. And instead, she was just sounded like a drone, like she didn't have her earpiece in properly, or I don't know, man. I'll force myself to watch it again. It was, when you put Taylor Swift on the board, I thought, great, you hated it too. Like, that's all I've come to know.
I did not. I wanted to hate it. And I'm on TikTok. And when I say on, I don't mean
Really?
I'm providing content. I mean, I'm surfing and sending funny dog shit to my friends.
You are TikTok. You are TikTok.
And I think her broken heart and her I've been wronged. Initially, I thought, you were a child. You were in this relationship for 3 months and you are making this but then I realized, grooming doesn't take very long. I definitely think Jake Gyllenhaal did her very wrong and he's dumb and that's fine. But an entire nation turns its lonely eyes to you. Entire nation is just against this man who, one of the TikToks I saw had a fake PR rep saying, Jake Gyllenhaal's PR. Hi, Jake. How are you? I think it's a great idea if we just lay low for November and maybe December as well. And maybe move out to the country. And maybe just, take up farming and do not leave your fucking house or show your face. Or there are I truly enjoyed it as a piece of art. I really enjoyed it. Some of her lyrics, you just said they were very sophomoric.
I'll be more generous. I know she's a talented woman. I respect her not only as a talented artist and performer and empire. I super respect her for, after achieving all of that at great personal risk, she put her political views on her sleeve so that she could try to make the world a better place. And she didn't have to do any of that.
None of it. She could have just kept raking in money.
So I'm in. You're allowed to make music I don't like, and for me to still say, you go. Right. So this is good.
Give
for
her another
you,
shot,
Taylor.
because it was
this is good for you, Taylor. But I was like, I'm telling you, my reaction was, I don't know what the fuck I'm listening to here. When is this over? Watch. And I didn't look at any of the scenes in the background because I was like, I cannot take any more of this.
You got to watch the video.
Well, is it like celebrities or something? Is that something that maybe would have?
It's what's his name? Dylan O'Brien, who my daughter is wildly in love with. This actor, he's in all these teeny movies.
Sure.
Not Tinyy, Teeny. And Sadie Sink, who is the adorable Stranger Things strawberry blonde, who she's Taylor in this thing, and they're great. I can't. It hurts me to say that I dug it.
So she faked. You can substitute in the play at home legal game that's actually my boyfriend, Jake Gyllenhaal, that everybody knows I broke up with. And that's supposed to be me. But these are actors like they do on Drunk History, right? Or in the,
exactly
reenactment. So
the
whole thing is like revenge porn for her as well. So he pooped in her cupcakes or whatever. And now she's there with the little strawberry blonde girl going, here's my poop cupcake.
Yes. Okay. All of that. Yes.
Yeah,
here's why he's a dick.
Okay.
I mean, everybody's focusing on the stupidity of he has my scarf, he gave it to his sister, give it back, like you dumped me after 3 months, and everyone's like, the scarf is a metaphor for her virginity and blah. I'm like,
wow.
I
There's
can't
so
with you
many
people.
more reasons for me to double down on the not like for that
crazy
sentence.
Deep dive. Don't go on TikTok or stay off the internet.
Stay out of the trash. Yeah, I'll do it. That's a hashtag. It works in a lot of ways. Stay out of the trash. TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Keep telling me more about my eyes. Keep telling me more about.
You said stay out of the trash, and I just pictured George Costanza going in a top of a trash can and taking a chocolate eclair and eating it right off the top.
It was on the top.
So I want to tell you that the entire nation. I have content for today, but the entire nation turns its lonely eyes to you. I mean,
that's a lyric, honey. That's a lyric.
Don't get me wrong. There is no better lyricist than Paul Simon, and I don't compare the two, but she is, for her age, for anyone's age, I'll be honest, she She did a good job. I loved Olivia Rodrigo's album. You mentioned her earlier. I don't know who wrote that. I don't know anything about her. I don't like knowing so much about Taylor Swift.
Well, here's what I want to I want to absolutely frame my aggressive comments here. Typically, there's one thing or a bunch of things that work together and let you excuse all the rest of it. The opposite happened here, right? When we're talking, you even mentioned Alanis Morissette, which I think is a great example. I excuse a lot of things in her lyric or in her this because as a whole, it was right for the time, the vibe, the mood, everything about it. It was like, yeah.
It was perfect.
So if you're in
everything.
So if you're in the Taylor Swift camp and you're already a fan and you there's nothing that she can do wrong,
yeah.
You overlook things like the patriarchy keychain and the stupid lyric about the scarf and all the rest of it. In my case, I sort of was like, oh, Taylor, I'll say it to you like this. Taylor Swift in the same Saturday Night Live episode was singing as part of one of those pre-videos that they make. And it was a little jokey video, a satire video. She was fantastic and delightful and excellent. The whole time I was like, look at Taylor Swift. I didn't even know she was hosting. I was like, look at you. You're so
She's
fun.
not hosting.
The musical guest. I was like, look at you. You're so I love you, Taylor Swift. So it had this great immediate association and affinity for her. And then she got up to the mic. And all the things that could have gone wrong started to go wrong, and they combined to give me no opportunity to overlook anything else. So the reverse thing happened.
Try again. As you're talking, I think I found a hair coming off my chin.
I know you did. I was going to let that go because they can't see you.
And I got really distracted.
Rubbing your razor-sharp whiskers that are coming out at you, right? The number 2 pencil lead thickness of a hair pointing out of your cheek. Yeah.
I mean, if I had people in my life who loved me, would it ever have gotten that long? Like, why would you not tell me, Mom, you have a crazy whisker? Get it.
I still have a girlfriend who, when we were out having cocktails with other people, reached over at the table and pulled shit out of my face, and it hurt, and I was so embarrassed. And I was like, there's another way you could have done that, Sandra. But yeah, so it's like, thank you, I guess. Fuck you, I guess.
That is a friend.
Oh, she's a friend. Yeah.
That is a friend that I can't. That is the best thing I've heard today. And I re-listened to Taylor Swift.
Oh.
I love you, Sandra. Her name's Sandra.
Yeah, Sandra.
Yeah,
Sandra, I love you. We know Sandra from, what did I call her before? She's Spontini. She's Spontinis. When we would have spontaneous
Sandra.
Martinis.
You can't. Well, she did it with her, I'm assuming, thumbnail and pointer.
We were sitting on the same side of the bar top booth table, and it was everybody having cocktails, and I was closer to the window than she was. So I guess I was somehow lit in such a way where she could see the thing easily. And she leaned over and did the pinch grab with fingers and nails. And I don't know how she got it quicker than a tweezers and yanked that shit out of my face. Oh my God. The whole thing, I'm like, who's on the watch out? All at once.
Dear female listeners, if you do not have tweezers in your car, you are doing the wrong thing. The only place to pluck a random, where the fuck did that come from, hair is in your car when you are lit by morning sunshine or the afternoon. That is the only time you'll see it. You could shove your face into the bathroom mirror. You will not find what is later plucked at coffee with your girlfriend, Sandra.
It was cocktails.
Big fan, Sandra.
Now I'm getting hurdy hairs, right? They're not just hairs. They're painful.
What?
I'm getting
like ingrown?
No, they're just hurdy hairs. They're steel rods that come out. Like they're triple thick. I don't know what happened. I got like the, extra large. I get like some kind of crazy hairs that come out.
Are you transforming into a witch? Do you have any?
I'll only get like 5, we'll say 6 a year.
Yeah.
So it's like the other hairs, they come and go. And you know me, the hairs, a lot of times you can't even really see them. So it's like you're pulling them out for no reason because you have to like sit there and study to try and find it. If you touched it, you'd be like, oh, I guess there's some hair. Like
unless you're in the car.
But then I get the steel rod hairs, and it's like a pencil that comes out, tank, and you got to pull that shit out.
You're just a couple of years older than I am, and I'm now upset that that's what I have to look forward to. Because even the light wispy ones that upset me, you see it. You're talking to me. Maybe it's because I haven't seen anyone in a long time.
Well, I must have done something to deserve this. Here's what I mean. In my eyebrow on the left side, I have a steel rod hair that's been there for generations. So always.
Generations.
It comes back.
I'm
And
50.
it's unlike all other hairs. It's my diversity hair. It comes back, the one little hair, and as I pluck it out, like it'll bleed. It's like if you're doing a DNA test.
Oh my God.
That's the one you want. Yeah, it pulls out like brain matter. It's a giant
Wow.
tube of hair. And it hurts. And when I finally get it gone, I know I got another 2 to 3 months before that fucker shows back, and then I got to get in there again and rip it out at the root. It's very weird. So I got one up there, and now I intermittently get them on the lower regions of my face. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dear listener, do you have stray hairs? This male, female, we're not picky. Tell us about it. brilliantobservations@gmail.com. Hit us up on Twitter or Instagram at Listen Brilliant. You can find us on Facebook, Brilliant Observations or Brillobs Squad. If you're part of the squad, maybe this week you have opined on your thoughts. Yeah, I know. Good word, right? About pierogi or ravioli. Mm-hmm. Amy, did we get any sort of response on Brillobs Squad?
We did. We did, in fact. We did, in fact. And I have thoughtfully not reviewed the data. And I know you're probably supposed to say data, but I want to slap people when they say that. So I have.
Well, I'm a Star Trek fan, so I like data better as well.
Okay.
He's
so we have 21 big responses, which is a great number for drinkers. So
where the fuck have you been, people?
Okay. All right. Be nice.
Got hundreds of listeners and 21 responses.
Hundreds. Yeah. Okay. So
I'm
disappointed. Here we go. Yes, you should be. You should be disappointed. Here we go. We got some responses.
What is the response?
I'm going to click it.
Click it or take it.
Choose the reigning dumpling. And oh my fucking God. Okay. So we have 2 answers that have been equally fucking weighted.
Shut up.
38.1% chose ravioli. 38.1% chose pierogi. You fuckers. You can't even be even. You can't even. It's got to be like a percentage. You can't be like a fraction percentage. Okay. Best to say nothing, 9.5%. I like you. I see you. Feel seen. Oh, and here's some. I was going to say a word I don't normally say, but I think in this case it's apropos. Here's some fucking pussy wrote, they are both delightful. And that was a write-in. Or maybe I listed that as an answer. Non-pork wonton got 4.8%. They are both delightful, got 4.8%. And then somebody who now has my whole heart wrote Tubin steak.
Wrote what?
Tubin steak.
Oh, good God.
38.1. So the debate wages on, friends.
It is not too late to hit up Brillobs Squad. Other hundreds of listeners.
We'll do a different. We can do a different one this time. You want me to do a Taylor Swift poll? Does Taylor Swift's new album suck? Yes, no. I'll happily put that. Oh, she got even offended at the question. We won't put that poll out.
Well, could you phrase it better than that? Unless you really think it sucks.
I don't even know her whole album. I got
to tell you,
invested in it. I swear, my lordy.
The reason she it's a re-release of this album with extra
even worse. Okay.
With extra cuts. She re-released it because the music industry and her
sad.
management fucked her by not letting her have possession of or any profits from her music. And they screwed her. And as a recording artist, a singer-songwriter,
this is Squeeze Tempted. You know, they re-released Tempted. This is Walking. Anybody who has a re-recording of a song, it's because the original recording is owned in such a way where they get nothing. So if you put it out a new time with new people on it at a new date, then you get to own it and you got to sell it again. You get to sell it again, but you get to keep it.
But so she's selling it under Taylor's version where she actually gets paid for this now, as opposed to before where other people like, come on, little girl who doesn't know what she's doing in this industry. I'm going to steal your money because I can see that you are going to explode because and
I'm going to pay up front and gamble that with my money to promote you. So from a business standpoint, she agreed to that fucking contract. If you wanted to promote and market yourself, then go for it. But since you didn't.
Right.
And we're the big baddies that, I don't have a problem for people that sign book deals, that sign movie deals. I do have a problem for Stan Lee getting locked out of everything Marvel until and unless everybody came, because that was in the same way that, God rest her, Carrie Fisher and all of the original Star Wars people. We didn't have a culture in Stan Lee's time, in Carrie Fisher's coming up through Star Wars time, Mark Hamill's time, where all those action figures and shit, they got a cut of it. There's no such thing as a likeness. That came out later. So they just don't have any of that Lucas empire that really they fucking built. So I support all of that shit. By the time Taylor came around, her parents were negotiating those deals with her and the management company. And, you had already learned from George Michael what not to do with Sony. But at the same time, good for you, little gal. Go and get your dollar bills, y'all. Pick them up.
Yeah, that's another reason I support it. But do not tell my child, because if she thinks I'm on her side.
No. Why would she ever think that?
Right.
And the good news is, here's another pro tip for you, which you may have lost sight of. You're a little close to this. If ever you find yourself on the same side as your daughter, simply tell her and she'll switch sides. So you're fine.
You're absolutely right.
You got nothing to worry about.
Example, I really want her to go to the University of Delaware. And
lean on it.
And she was accepted.
Tell her you don't want to go there.
She was accepted. She's waiting to hear about a financial package and the honors program. I have to tell her that school fucking sucks. You can't go there. I can't afford it. You can't go there. But I really want to.
She's going.
You're right. They'll flip sides.
She's going to Dartmouth.
We did not go visit Dartmouth because nobody gets into Dartmouth. We did not.
You don't get in if you don't apply. Lotto ticket.
Definitely, we are not applying. We are not.
That's that. I would say that's probably the best strategy to not get in is to not apply.
Agree. I agree. And it was well thought out and it was well crafted.
It's fools.
I'm going to get really behind McAllister, which is in St. Paul. And I'm going to say that's the best college in the world because that's where she wants to go right now. So I'm going to double down on it.
She does?
Yeah. Tiny liberal arts college in the Midwest. That's what she wants.
Oh,
I'll have Bonnie Frank take a look at her. Keep an eye on her out there.
Okay.
Even though she's in St. Louis. But I have lumped
St. Louis can be, I've got 3 people there. St. Louis can be great. St. Louis can be really, really great. Really, really great. It can.
Well, if you're on Bonnie's deck absorbing sun all day, yes.
I didn't realize our good friend Bonnie, Business Fabulous podcast, was in St. Louis.
I think that's where she is. Am I wrong?
Okay. Yeah, I'm the authority on where people are.
I could be wrong.
I have no fucking idea.
I could be wrong. You're not going to believe this, but I could be wrong. But I'm not wrong about Taylor Swift this time. I do, however, want to caution everybody.
Recycle these something. Who's that one? She's got glasses on, I think. And I turn the radio on, I turn the radio up, and this woman was singing my song. Lovers in love and the other ran away. Something is happening, I'm trying not to stay.
With the glasses.
I
see her. She's acting now, too. She has a cute little daughter.
I'm thrown. She had some kind of like Food Network baking situation at the end, too, where she like brought her guitar into the kitchen. Yeah, it lasted for like a half an episode. And I was like, good for you. And she was somebody who I don't like, did her video in a continuous one shot with no cuts. So it must have been Ethan Hawke, who I don't like. Is that Uma Thurman's former?
Yes.
Yeah, that's him. He did it. I don't care for him. I don't care for his penis. Her name is Glassy McGee. Her name is Glassy McGee. I love how everybody's screaming at home. It's Flakasaka! She wore the glasses, and it was a big deal that she wore glasses, which is the stupidest thing to have a deal about. But it
Lisa Loeb.
That's right. I feel like I'm in trouble. Probably hit the wrong key. You say. Oh, you're not going to.
I can't because John Buchanan made us think if you play a song, you'll be sued. And I don't have any money.
Oh, he's completely right. That doesn't mean we have to listen to what he says. I mean, that's
because only 21 people weighed in on our pierogi and ravioli.
Having people stop what they're driving to go find their computer later to come and tell us their thoughts and views on ravioli. I mean, we had a write-in. Frankly, we had an anger management write-in about the cod situation. So I'm here to tell you, did you not hear the cod?
No.
First of all, I got multiple texts about the ravioli. You yourself have been invited to a ravioli throwdown. And the only reason, I'll come back to the cod. The only reason that we're not immediately discussing the ravioli, kugel, pierogin off.
Kugel. I'm going to win.
The kugel off. The only reason, I'm going to win. The only reason we're not actively discussing it is because I know your bony fucking blonde ass will not come to it. 2 of the participants are here in gorgeous North Carolina.
I will come down there.
You will not. You a liar. You lie all the time. Lie. Come December 18th. That's a little quick. But that's when we're going to be having those sausage party.
The sausage party.
I told you about the sausage party.
I know, but
we'll convert it. We'll convert it. We're going to convert. We're going to have a takeover, and it's going to be the pierogi ravioli kugel jam off.
I want you to see what's on my calendar.
I see a lot of circles and dots.
No, there are no events. Yeah, I am currently available on that date.
Get your ass on the plane. If you won't get in the plane, just get in an Amtrak. Joe will drive you, or come in the cars. We're sorting this shit out off air, and you're fucking coming.
Yeah, I'm.
We could do a live show. We could do a live fucking show.
If I'm
from
making kugel, I'm gonna win. So, nobody makes kugel like.
Okay, Taylor Swift, bring it. Yeah, we're fucking.
And I'm wearing a scarf.
And we will do a live fucking show. We'll do a live kitchen cook-off show, and you will be, frankly, you will be shamed.
Frankly's my dog.
At that moment, you'll be shamed. And I was shamed because I got an anger. Rage dispatch.
Is this a fish conversation? Because I have to tell you, my husband is shocked you've never eaten salmon before, and
flew super under the radar on that shit. I know.
I got to tell you, I am hearing. What do you mean, Amy's never had salmon before? Who? What human has never had? Like people in my world lost their shit over you. And
I know it. It makes
you get
no
that
sense.
Too?
Yes, and I knew I would. I've been concealing this fact. It's like my secret truth. I've been hiding it for a long time.
Well, it's secretly crazy.
I'm not going to. Oh, God. I know. I got to do it. The cod I got in trouble for.
Why?
Because evidently, well, I knew there was something wrong with this fish, but I don't care. I can't be bothered. It's delicious. So the thing wrong with it, do you want to ever eat cod again?
Oh, shit.
There's nothing wrong with this fish. You're going to hear it because it was in a group channel that you're a part of as well. So if you choose to engage with this person,
Go ahead. I know exactly who it is. Remember I said there are people we know who know everything and we use them as resources?
This is a person whose generational familial livelihood is based on fishery. So, okay. There are people who have full-time jobs. I'm sorry, friends. I'm so sorry. There are people who have full-time jobs who stand with a hook to deworm the caught cod before it's sold because it is so riddled with worms because it is a wormy, scummy fish. So they have to
But doesn't he love it also?
Pull out the parasites. This is Annie. Why do you think Tom is going to call in here? Tom's grooving on cod. Yeah, this is Annie. I should also say, I'm going to tell all your secrets, okay? Because this is also a woman who playtime in her happy, happy childhood involved riding around in the flatbed of a trailer filled with fish where she would pick through all the different fishes to do, it's like any part of that. There was more to the story, but I stopped listening at Trailer Bed of Fish that I'm sitting in. I'm like, I'm out. I don't know how we're friends with you as an adult because there's not enough showers between that childhood memory and now for us to still be friends. But I love her. And I eat the wormy cod and I'm going to keep eating it.
As long as there is somebody deworming, I love my dogs. We deworm them.
I eat a sausage. I eat a hot dog. There's fucking rat parts in hot dogs. That's not a joke. That's just a fact. Check the FDA. And they're delightful. I don't insert rat parts.
Right. It's not an ingredient when you cook, but
with the bargain of the hot dog. I accept it. The WHO calls that a bargain. The best I've ever had. And it's a hot dog. And I'm here for it all day.
She didn't give you shit about never having had salmon?
No, I don't think she got that far. The cod threw her over the side of the boat. She couldn't handle it.
Over the side of the boat?
She was spitting. I mean, there was actual spit flying. She was anchored. It was a real hard one for her to get. It was tough news to accept. Sometimes you got to break bad news to people.
Hey, Amy, are you a sentimental person?
Yes.
Okay.
In what ways? Yes.
I'm on all of the local community forums on Facebook, and there are
Sadly,
things.
You got to stay out of the trash. Follow your advice to me. Okay, keep going.
No, you're right. Stay out of the trash. But I think I must get joy in other people's stupidity, because I absolutely put myself in groups where I can not only feel superior, but feel like you're a fucking it. Hey, look.
No, I get that. I see that. How does this relate to sentimentality, please?
Somebody posted, my sophomore wants it was local high school something. My sophomore, where's the information about class rings? And where is the information about...
Are we still doing that?
Thank you. About yearbooks. I'm like, wait, you just said your kid's a sophomore or a junior. Why are you wanting a class ring? Did you get a class ring?
Yeah, in like 1902 when I graduated from high school. Did I get a ring from college? No, because I don't play fucking football. I don't understand this.
Where is your high school class ring?
I'm certain that I own it. Thus endeth the lesson. There's somewhere. There must be a box in this house that involves like a tassel and a mortar board with a diploma in. Like all the diplomas and shit are stacked, and there's like I have a number of boxes in the attic for things. It's like, yes, and then I just move them from place to place, and that's where they stay. I'm not hanging them up on the wall. I don't have pictures of my fucking family in my house. I'm not going to hang up my diploma, for God's sake. I would like to have pictures of my family in my house, but I don't. I can't be bothered.
If I graduated from medical school, I might hang my diploma.
I might hang it in my office.
Right, exactly.
There was a time when I hung all that shit in my office, and there was just too much shit all over the wall. So now I have art in there. So, no, I mean, depending on how your house is, you could put it in your foyer or something.
No, you're a douche if you have your degrees
I
in
fully
your
agree.
foyer.
I meant to say in like the mudroom, like maybe when you're coming in from the side thing, and there's your kids shit, and there's like the kids.
Is that like Oscars being kept in people's bathrooms? Is that like that theory? Well, I had a shelf here and I didn't know how to decorate, so they're in the bathroom.
I feel like if you're a doctor, you have a place of employment. And that's where your diploma should go.
Sure,
I think
an office somewhere,
or else keep it at your fucking in your attic. Get it. If you're a doctor, my hope is that you're compensated in such a way where you have a storage area in your home. That's where you put it. Don't put it out. Don't put it out.
Smarten up. COVID should have given you time to understand who you are, why you do, what you save. I guess my question here is, dear listener, what do you save? Are you sentimental, and what do you save? I want to know what it's almost time to let go of, why you're surprised you haven't, or what you're still keeping for, oh, I don't know why, I'm just still keeping it.
Well, I think that you can broaden the conversation a bit and help yourself get your arms around it a bit by doing this.
Help me.
For many people.
Yeah.
There is a tradition of honoring the milestone with an object. So silver baby rattles are incredibly stupid and impractical.
Totally impractical.
Or a spoon or a cup. But if you happen to come from a place where...
Baby shoes. Your baby can't walk. Why are you putting...
There are bronze baby shoes upstairs in my... And they're not mine.
I have them too from my parents.
Well, they're not mine. But for some reason, they're here. So I don't even understand what that's all fucking about. But if it is one of two things. If it was... a family tradition that this is just what you do. You get a watch when you graduate. Even if nobody wears watches, here's your watch, put it in a drawer. We did that, tick a box. And or it might be an aspirational thing. It might be, I grew up seeing all these other people did it and we didn't do that. So I am absolutely doing this for my people. This is something that I'm doing. And when you look back, you'll have the yearbook that you don't care to open right now because it's dumb, and you'll have the ring that you don't care about, and you'll have the tankard with your name on it, or whatever the fucking. You'll have the tassel or the scarf. So in some ways,
so you're fighting
it's honoring
the
a milestone. It's. I don't feel like any of the things that you're describing are overly sentimental. To me, they feel like, okay, we're going to buy the combo pack of photographs from the sports dinner awards that we'll never display. But we're going to buy them and we're going to keep them. And they're going to sit somewhere so that we can pull them out and look
show
sometime.
your children.
And they'll show up in your wedding reel when you're and that's it, right? Oh. So it's the kind of thing where to me, that's not sentimentality. That is a milestone marker. And I fully endorse, spend all the money. Do it. It's stupid. And also, you're buying a physical memory. That's what I see. Sentimental shit is like this typewriter that I'm staring at that I had no, that's the wrong word for it. It's like there's sentimentality that is hoarding, you know, gathering of things, keeping of things for no purpose that are, you know, the matchbook, like in Ghost, you're keeping the Rolaids from when, you know what I mean? It's like don't keep the Rolaids, throw those out, find a better memory. A school ring. Okay. Do you need to buy it? If it hurts your heart not to buy it, fucking buy it. What is it? $300? I don't know what they cost. Right?
I have no idea.
Yeah. So I'm down with that. But I also agree, don't just buy shit for the sake of buying it. Like I feel like there are legitimate ways to tie it to value. Brian?
Hey, Amy, what did you do this weekend?
Oh, my stars. I took a whole bunch of pictures that were so beautiful, and then I posted none of them in the moment, and now I don't want to go back and later gram them, but I think I might because I was at a drive-away regatta for middle child, and it was super awesome. I knew it was going to be an ugly day. It was 3.5 hours away one way, and a regatta is all day. Normally, if this had been an event for lacrosse, we would have made an overnight of it. At least an overnight, if not a double overnight, right? So I was like, we're doing it. We're going up and back. And then I thought, well, if I'm doing it, I'm not going to make other parents do this. So I ended up with a car full of kids. None of us said, my son knows them all. He sails with them. But this was a new thing for all of us. And I was sort of picking them. I was a school bus, picking them up on the way out of town at 6:45 in the morning on the road. It was awful. And I'm not used to driving with a girl presence in the car. And she asked to stop to go to the bathroom. And then she took a long time in the bathroom. Time we didn't have. So it added
poopy.
I didn't want to comment, and I'm not going to comment. It took longer. I didn't anticipate this stop at all. And it was longer than I thought was a reasonable time to stop. So it added a level of stress to an already stressful situation. So I'm coming in there at a speed much, much faster than I would feel comfortable somebody driving my kids around in, right? We finally get to the marina, and it's got the entrance we chose had one of those up and down gates. Like you have to plug in the number to be able to get the gate to open. And I thought, what do we do now? And we were so close to, we're already like 10 minutes late, and there's a competitors meeting. There's all these things. You kind of have to be there. So I just gunned it. And the person in front of me who went, I drove through 2 cars in one gate like a fucking criminal. And then the kids were like, that was awesome. And I'm like, okay, don't tell your parents. So anyway, so we get there. I get them there. Whew. I go and sit in the clubhouse. Finally, I'm not going to sit in a bag chair on the dock. I'm going to sit here in the beautiful clubhouse. It's perfectly bright, shady. I can see the entire river, all the boats. I opened up the screen door. It was it's a huge place, multiple screen doors that slide out onto a deck. Beautiful, beautiful, facing the water. So I opened all of those up. There's this fantastic breeze, but it's just warm enough. And I'm on a soft, cushioned sofa.
Love it.
Up. I've got my computer and a plug. It could not have been better. It was the best way for me to spend.
Who ruined this day for you?
And then in walks, I was in there for like an hour by myself. And then in walks this woman, clearly a sailor, because she was sort of very sturdy, unaware of her physical presence, smelly.
I had you at sturdy, yeah.
Right. And she walks, tong, 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 hi. I said, oh, hello. Goes back to the kitchen, because I guess it gotten to be lunchtime. So she's going to be doing her thing. And she's just talking as if we were already in a conversation, which was bad enough because I was there with the computer, fingers actively working. So I was in the middle of writing something and I had to kind of, now I can't. Okay, hang on. All right. So, yeah. And I was doing the airplane thing where I'm like, I don't really actually want to talk to you because I'm here in a quiet, breezy room
that I've created.
Loving my life. And in a span of 20 minutes, she cooked and presented to me in the pan canned, unsauced barbecue. Brought it to me in the frying pan.
Those words don't even go together.
Right. Brought it to me in the frying pan to say, does this look like dog food to you? Smelling it. And I'm like, okay. I feel like when we started your lunch prep with the word can, I was out. Didn't matter what was in it. And the smell of that shit, then after she's doing all this and talking to me.
You putting that over fish sticks or what?
It just went on and on. It was 41 of the worst minutes of my life, and she kept going. Then she proceeds to say, it's really humid in here. Gosh. So she closes all the doors, turns on the air conditioning, turns on the overhead ceiling fans, turns on lights that I specifically had off. Like it was this beautiful dappled sunlight coming in there. It was like a beautiful, it was a pristine scene. And now it smells and is cold and weird. And she shut everything up tight and left her funky stink in the air. So now, left, made the situation. And I kept saying, please don't do that for me. I would prefer you not do that for me. Please don't. I like it the way I have it. Like I'm saying these words out loud. And she's like, yeah, it's a little humid in here. And then she fucking left. So after she was gone, I had to get up from what I was doing, open everything back up, take her fucking trash and stick it outside the door so that I didn't sit there with the dog food smell still thick in the air. Turn off this fucking stupid air conditioner. Who would do this?
She ruined your happy place.
Who would come in and say, you don't know what you want. I know what you want, and here it is. And P.S.
This is better.
I don't even want it, so let me leave now that I've fucked you. I'm going to the Bahamas.
Do you think that's how our kids feel when we say and do things like, you don't know what you want, I know what you want? Do you think that's how they feel?
It might be, but the difference there is they don't know what they want. And it's time to turn that light on. They're going to go blind.
That is true. I am constantly turning on the light for them to read and see and do.
Brian?
You know, there's a whole, I want to say, generation or whole crazy group of people who do live in not just tiny houses, but school buses, schoolies that they transformed into.
Schoolies?
That's what they call them, schoolies. And RVs and just vehicles that they transformed into. I mean, I saw, sadly, one girl who took her Prius and she made it into this is my home with my dog. No. Let's take a small space and add another heartbeat into it.
That's not fair.
For either of them, really.
Services available in every community to help you from the situation you're in. Get some assistance and support. There's absolutely nothing wrong with not being able to afford a home temporarily or permanently, but don't choose a fucking car.
Call me. Else. I take in strays.
Yeah, don't call me. Call my friend. Call my friend. Well, you got to listen to a lot of Taylor Swift. But other than that,
you really don't. I don't have it on during the day. I just saw it on TV and listened to my daughter. Oh, and I was on TikTok with her for quite some time.
I love sex. I love it.
If I have this last year left with my daughter home and I want not to be a hermit, so she remembers me being just a broken human. We also got to spend time with their youngest, who is also going to college in the fall. And I could have counted on my hands and feet how many words he's used in the last 10 years. And he was fucking delightful. So when these kids become seniors and you do not put them on the spot and you just sit in their orbit, they are kind of amazing. And to watch my senior and Carrie's senior have a conversation and play cards together and just be was sort of magical. But one thing we did talk about when we were up there was the fact that we have a friend who has started a business selling brittle. And we are ridiculously excited for this human that we had joy in our bellies at just the thought of of this
I've heard
person
about that.
We know who's a chef, a hidden treasure chef. Can you tell us anything about her? You?
I think, you know what? It's going to surprise you. It's me.
Shut up.
I don't know what came over me. I truly don't. I know, actually, in retrospect, I think I know what came over me. Years ago, I thought I was going to sell mixed nut brittle. And for a variety of reasons, I never did. Put it on the shelf. I've never once ever sold it.
Because we kept eating it.
Yeah, that's part of the big reason. And I kept eating it. It was like, I'm moving in the wrong direction. I need to sell like exercise or
let's go on the healthy
diabetes tests, something that I'm really going to need a lot of. Like this is a wrong thing for me to do. Cut to, I was supposed to go to a writer's retreat. I did go. I keep saying that. I was going to a writer's retreat, which I attended. And for some reason, a day and a half before, out of nowhere, I launched, we sometimes call ugly launched, this brand new mixed nut brittle business and put it out there. And I had sold well over $1,000 worth of brittle in the first 6 hours of being out there with a single Facebook post, no website. It went to a Google document for people to take orders. So I thought, okay. And the reason I probably did it is because I didn't want to stand in a room full of published authors and say, I don't have a book. I was supposed to be working on a book this whole year and I haven't done it. So instead I walked in and said, I'm selling brittle, which I didn't even say. I just told on myself and said, why did I launch this? Cut to, it's been a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks now, right? It's insane, the amount that are flying off the I've had to take actual product photos and have terms and conditions on the actual, like all of it. It's a real website. It's a real thing. And I keep making it and it's really good. I knew it was good. You're laughing.
No,
I knew
I'm
it was
smiling.
good.
I think it's great. I know it's good.
I knew
everything
it was good.
you make is good.
And the part of the reason that I never did it before is because I was concerned how to scale it. I make these in small batches by hand every time. And that doesn't really work for a business unless you want to make brittle around the clock forever, which I don't. I didn't want to give the recipe away to other people to cook it for. All the logistics seem to be troublesome. Well, I've, been forced to figure out how to scale, and I've got, 3 different ways that I've done it, and I'm stunned. I'm stunned at how this is coming together, and a little bit amazed, really. It's delicious. It's so good. I'm so happy.
Dear listener, if you are interested in this brittle, Amy will post on our Facebook page a link as to where you too can enjoy holiday brittle. And even after the holidays, you can get addicted like the crack it is. I do.
So here's what so it's the name of the company is Joy Belly because it's yum yum joy in your belly. So it's joybellybrittle.com and you can pre-order now and I begin shipping in early December. You can also, if you're anywhere local to me and want to pick it up, you can do that too. But there's lots of different options. It's at joybellybrittle.com. And go check it out if you're so inclined. So it's the difference with the brittle that I'm making. People are like, what is this brittle? The difference is the one that I make is called amber glass. So it's like stained glass-esque. You can almost see through it. So you hold it up to the light. It's really fancy. It's actually called, one of the products is called bougie brittle because it's really high-end mixed nuts and there's little bits of dried fruit in there. And it's very, very pretty. And then you eat it. And then you eat like 9 pounds of it at a sitting.
I'm going to tell you that dried fruit has no place in brittle, but okay, that is.
It's so good because here's why. But
there's a choice for you people who agree with me that.
Well, you can get pistachio only, which is a single nut brittle, and that's nothing. Or you can get senior salty, which is triple salted peanut brittle in the same techniques with no fruit, no nothing. Bougie brittle and bang bang brittle are the mixed nut and fruit, and so it's 4 different kinds of nuts, 2 different kinds of fruit, and when you combine it with that salty, sweet, and then extra spicy bang bang that's in there, it's all of the flavors. It's thin, crunchy, chewy because you get a little hit of this is too hot and it's really sharp, but then it's like chewy because it's soft. All the things at one time. You don't know what to do with yourself except eat more. It's very good.
So check that out and place your orders now before she loses her mind.
Before she comes down here for the ravioli throwdown and learns how sad it is to lose. You're going to lose.
That's unkind.
It's just the truth.
Okay, dear listener, there's going to be another poll for you. I don't know if it's going to be Taylor Swift. Is it Swiftie? But please don't don't lose the opportunity to comment on the pierogi ravioli debate. You can go back an episode. Amy is pro ravioli, which I grew up and it was overboiled and again it was canned sauce, and I don't know that I've had her perfect ravioli ever. Someone posted a Chef Boyardee ravioli.
Have you ever actually had Chef Boyardee? Did anybody ever buy it or eat it?
Look at me. I was raised on it.
Really?
I opened that can, I poured it into a pot, I put it on the stove, and I turned on the stovetop. And I stirred it right on the stovetop in a pot. And then I ate it. And God help me, I enjoyed it. Then they came out with the overstuffed ones. And it's meat ravioli, by the way. And it's overstuffed, which just means it's twice as much sketchy meat in the middle.
Ew.
And yes. So yes is the answer to your question and the look on your face.
Yeah,
Of course I've had that. Have you ever had SpaghettiOs?
No, I didn't think people actually bought that
Oh,
stuff.
well then there's your poll. Here's polling you, friends.
Are you kidding me? You would have that in your house, like not as a joke. You would have it on the
lunch.
shelf. For lunch.
That's what I would have it there for. Lunch. Not a joke. Lunch.
Okay, and also I think you've already covered this, but I just have to hear it in the context of the rest of this stuff. You had something called tuna helper? You had hot tuna, didn't you?
I did not.
You've made hot tuna?
Never.
Thank God. Of course, you did put ketchup on a fish stick. So.
Yep, sure did. Tomato sauce right out of the can. Tomato paste sauce. Yep, one stripe. But I'd never had tuna helper. We weren't big tuna people. The only place tuna had in our home was on a bagel.
Above God.
That whole worming thing is upsetting me a little, but at least there's a human whose job it is to remove the worms. Let's hope he's good at his job.
Look you don't know what they do to cows and chickens and all the other
Chicks and ducks.
We're so grateful for your service, you wonderful animals, because we don't treat you very well, and you're delicious when we finally do eat you. I don't want to learn too much about it because then I can't be. It'll be sad to be a carnivore. I won't stop. Just make me sad.
Desperately in my head, I want to be a vegetarian. Desperately in my head.
It's the right thing to do. I want to.
Because it's the right thing to do. I can't.
Yeah.
It's
I'm really proud of you guys. Good job.
Thank you for doing what I am not capable of doing.
We're having hot dogs. Yep. Very good.
There are other things I'm not capable of doing that other people do, like deworming cod. For that.
Who would want that for their job? That's
You are
gross.
a hero. Vegetarians, you are heroes! ! Point.
Cod dewormers. You should visit Indeed because I think there's maybe a different path for you.
People who drive electric cars. I mean, that battery to make. And
you are one of them. I don't know where this is going.
Well, I also drive a Range Rover. So? My carbon footprint is. So people who drive electric cars, thank you very much for countering people who eat animals.
You know what? Driving around in cars, it's super bad. We all know it's bad. Okay. Living in your house, the way you live, it's all bad. None of it's as bad as getting on an airplane and flying around places.
What's bad about living in my house?
Everybody's houses. None of us are good eco-happiers. We're all doing it bad.
I think I'm doing it okay.
You're not.
I have geothermal heat and cool.
What's that? Is that solar?
No, that's using the Earth's core we drilled into the Earth's core 6 wells to heat and cool our house.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a well on our land. I think we are living okay, but we are not living okay.
Sounds like
eating meat and driving Range Rovers and trying to counter it with the geothermal, and
it all balances out. It all comes out in the wash.
It all balances out to a world that's
phthalate free,
falling apart. Yeah. Thank you very much. Do your best. Best, everybody.
Greta.
Yeah. That's all we can ask is that you do your best. But I guess my best wasn't good enough. Because here we are.
That's right.
That's right. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for, I'd like to speak to the 21 of you who did vote on our poll. Thank you so much for engaging with us. If you haven't, it's not too late. Amy will be posting another poll. Here's a poll for you. And it might be on Taylor Swift, and it might be on things that you save. What do you save? Or you could just write us, brilliantobservations@gmail.com, and let us know, because I'm nosy and I'm super judgmental. So that's a very dangerous combination.
Sounds like a great poll.
Nice poll. Thank you for listening. We love you.
Oh, we love you.